Namaste, everybody. Welcome to Citti Media. My name is Sharan Sethi, your host. Today, we are joined by someone very special. He's a two-time National Award winner, an independent filmmaker whose movies have been released across various international film festivals and in India as well. And he's had the courage, a special determination to touch upon controversial subjects like love jihad. Today, we are joined by Sudipto Sen ji. Sudipto ji, namaskar.
Namaste.
Sir, we are living through a pandemic, and obviously, it has been very difficult for all of us, and especially as a filmmaker, you must be traveling a lot. So I just hope that you're safe.
Uh, my journey, yes, I am basically a nomad. So besides my filming, I do travel a lot. Interestingly, I was in Los Angeles in March 10th. I had a very important meeting and I had to sign an agreement. So I did that, and 11th of March 2020, LA got into the lockdown, COVID lockdown. And I didn't realize that I am going to get stuck there, because after 3-4 days I got to know that the LA airport is operating their last flight on 16th of March. So I took the last flight back to India, and that too through Tokyo, Singapore. It was very bad experience I gone through. But finally I managed to come to Bombay, and the day I come and my home quarantine is over, India got into a long lockdown. So yes, 7-8 months was very bad. I mean, it was a desperate wait. The situation in the country was extremely alarming. The situation was bad with migrant workers and all.
Right.
And in between, which we did is we organized an online film festival, having some of the biggest of the filmmakers of the country. Because incidentally, this year is the Satyajit Ray's 100th year birth anniversary. So we celebrated Satyajit Ray's birth centenary online. So it was a good engagement. And then I slowly started my travel, because right now I am doing a film in Kerala, which I told you, on the issue of conversion and love jihad. So I had to travel frequently there. But again, Kerala got into a mess in the pandemic situation. So yes, it was a trying time. It was really a testing time for us, because filmmaking is the worst hit. Though filmmakers and films kept people alive during the pandemic, because the most watched television and web series is this phase. People survive because of their entertainment. Otherwise, there is no source of going out, sitting home entertainment arrangement. So basically, it was a mixed bag feeling. Yes, we are slowly getting back to normal. And now, if God forbid there is no third wave, yes, everything will resume very soon.
Right. I mean, behind the glamour of films that we see on screen, we very seldom do acknowledge what filmmakers actually go through. And I'm really glad you shared this experience with us. And we're also very glad that you're safe at the moment.
Thank you.
Having said that, can I proceed with my first question?
Yes, of course, yes, you can.
You already touched upon your journey in Kerala. So let me begin with that first. You've been a staunch critic of quote unquote the love jihad, what is happening in states like Kerala, right? Especially you've made a movie on mass conversion. And although you do not bear a certain affiliation, whether it's with the BJP or the RSS, certain sections of the media and certain sections of political parties have tried to sort of label you on that, for that. Did you see this coming, or did this come as a rude shock to you, Sudipto ji?
Saran, the thing is, let me take you back a little, say 15-16 years back. In 2005, the CPM patriarchy, V.S. Achyutanandan, who was the chief minister at that time, came down to Delhi and had a press conference. And he said something shocking, in that press conference. I have the clip. If you want the clip, you want to show. It's a shocking revelation he did. He said that a sinister plan has been hatched by Islamic extremists led by ISIS, that they want to convert Kerala into the hub of the ISIS.
Right.
And for that, they are taking all sorts of means. I mean, you have to understand, Sharon, that Kerala has a very unique kind of demography of the population. As in, Muslim population in Kerala is something close to 22 to 25%. Christian population is almost similar, little less, and rest are Hindu population. Now, if you go to Kerala, the majority Hindu population, which is 50% plus, they will not, most of them will not say they are Hindu. They will say they are atheist. They are communist. So they don't consider as a Hindu population. So if you go by the religious demography, religious pattern, the quote unquote Hindu population is not more than 10 to 15%. Rest are atheist. So I got when I heard V.S. Achyutanandan's press conference in Delhi, I started it really aroused a huge kind of panic in me, because Kerala used to be our paradise. You know, Kerala it's not only it's a God's own country, but also Kerala is like a photographer's, filmmaker's paradise. So hearing something that it is going to be the Islamic terrorist hub in next 20 years, he mentioned this word very specifically, that in 20 years, Kerala will be converted into an Islamic state. So that is the beginning of the journey. I started taking interest, started understanding that how it is it a very radical comments to make, and particularly from a CPM chief minister, who is the patriarch of CPM, right?
Right.
Now, understanding the whole demography, when I reached Kerala to understand the ground level reality, I realized the situation is really pathetic. Pathetic in the sense, earlier it was not the conversion from Hindu community to Islamic Islam. It was essentially the term love jihad. We always misquote the word love jihad. It was actually the church in Kerala mentioned this word. In 1998, Kerala's Bishop mentioned this word, and they were, because it was the handy job of the Christians to convert into Christianity. It is known, internationally known phenomena, that Christians convert non-Christians into Christianity. That is the evangelist religious practice. Now, Islamic terrorism or Islamic extremism actually encroached their territory to convert Christians into Islam. Now, it was going that way when they started raising the issues in different forum, and the onslaught started from Hindu community and converting into the Islam. Now, you have to understand, interreligious marriage is not an uncommon phenomenon in the country, in India. Correct. Interreligious marriage is happening since ages, and India is being called Ganga Jamuna Tehzeeb, or India is called that. It is such a nice, complex kind of society where every religion live together, because we originally there were no Islamic India or a Christian India. It was India per se, holistically. You know, we have one culture, we have one identity as an Indian. Religion never played that role. So I'm not getting into that history, how the whole thing happened, how this unrest and mistrust and all this happened. That is a subject of sociology. I am not getting into that. I'm just confining myself as a filmmaker, what I understood. Now, in 2010, Kerala High Court gave a verdict, and Kerala High Court first time used the word love jihad. So just there were some cases, 2 or 3 cases been and referred to Kerala High Court, and they first time used, and they ordered NIA inquiry on those 2 cases, on those 2-3 cases. So that was the first time officially any constitutional body used the word love jihad. But and that time in 2010, so I'm shifting from 2005, V.S. Achyutanandan's statement, to 2010, when Oman Chandi was Kerala's chief minister, on he put a report on the floor of Kerala Assembly. He cannot deny the fact, and he, in front of my camera, he denied the fact that no, nothing of that sort had happened. But I have document that in 2010 in Kerala Assembly, Oman Chandi presented a case where been said that every year 3,000, approximately 2,800 to 3,200 girls being converted into and taking up Islam. So, and this number 2,800 to 3,200, just calculate in 10 years, and following 10 years, the number is staggering 32 to 33,000 girls being converted. Now, you tell me that if it is a love, then love should prevail in a relationship. Religion never come into that periphery of love. So why a girl needs to convert to get married, to get accomplishment of their love? It has a huge backlash and the social connotation to understand how the whole Kerala demography, cultural and socio-political demography works. We got some documents, Sharan, you will believe that secret ISIS documents which I have, saying that today we are 22 to 25%. By the time we will reach to cross 30%, then the fight will be on the road. And the population growth percentage, if you go by 2025, Kerala Muslim population will cross 30%. So if a community is 30%, already Kerala has one Muslim majority district called Mallapuram.
Yes.
Then Kerala has, there are villages which is under Sharia law, which is unbelievable, unthinkable in the country like India, where the women are not allowed roam around alone. They have to have a male partner along accompanying them. The schools are closed where only madrasas are being operated. Male folks are barred from cutting their beards. So already Kerala has, I mean, the villages which has Sharia law, almost, the stage is set to take take Kerala into that stage of, Islamic population, Islamic extremist vision to be come into the foreground. Now, so this is what is triggered me. And if I am not sounding very cynical, I traveled from Trivandrum to, northern part of Kerala. And believe me, I never find Kerala is so colorless. Kerala was looking black. It is burqa all over. I never saw vibrant Kerala girls with colorful dresses. That was the very common visual we used to think when we used to think of Kerala. Now I never saw Kerala that black. So Sharan, it is not against any religion. It is not against Islam. It is not against the Indians who has the Islamic religion. It is against the sinister plan of ISIS, Taliban, and all other extremist organizations who are designing this conspiracy against my country. Right. Now, taking it forward, if you recall, in some time before the fall of Saddam Hussein once said, I think it is very popular YouTube video, said, why people are fighting or why people are using guns to kill kafirs. We need not to kill anyone. We already in the process of winning over the world with the population bomb. Mm-hmm. By increasing population, we will take over the world. We need not to go for any war. We need not to do any territorial war. What he meant is, if the Hindu population in Kerala and Hindu population is just the half or less than half, their population growth percentage is equal, 16.37 or 16.8%. And if you analyze that equal percentage of population growth, you will see from today, 2021, into the next 8 years, Muslim population will cross Hindu population. That is exactly the sinister plan. It has been designed for Kerala, because you have to understand that ISIS or Islamic terrorism is not any structural organization. Today, ISIS has no footsteps, no strong ground to step. But ISIS, the influential factor of ISIS is spreaded all over the world. It is entire Europe is under the threat of ISIS. America and in India, because of our political vulnerability, they have the strong ground. Now, if I say the political vulnerability, I mean to say that the Indian democracy is still not that powerful that can resist the threats, that international threats, international design to, conspiracy against my country. It is this democracy has not been empowered to do that. What I mean to say, it is made, maybe it BJP, maybe it Congress, maybe it left. They need Muslim vote to, win the election. So when the Muslims are their voter, you cannot talk about directly about the Islamic terrorism. You cannot talk about the ISIS because they are your prospective voters. So the moment it comes to the vote, everything, you won't believe that is the pain I am carrying. We have handed over more than 99 cases to NIA of similar, conversion, and the girls being taken to the countries like Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan. We have the documents, we have their passport numbers, we have their boarding pass number, we have their SMSs. Still, Government of India, 2 years back, the state minister of Home, he said there is no term called love jihad. He says on the floor of Parliament. Right. So just imagine that it looks like two different India. One India who is suffering, who knows that it is going to give you that breathlessness in very soon, regardless of the politics, whether it is CPM, whether it is BJP, whether it is Congress, everybody feeling the situation is Kerala is extremely volatile. It is sitting on the volcano like Vesuvius. Anytime it can explode. But on ground, you hardly could see any action. So that is the reason it actually instigated me to go. And I belong to Bengal. So I can see the similar pattern in Bengal also. Right. And while we were discussing, I told you that in Bengal, the post-poll violence, I have some different point of view. I will tell you about that. Yes, but my take-off point about Kerala is, I think as a filmmaker, my responsibility is to tell people that it is all not okay. It is not acceptable that Islamic terrorism is finding a solid ground in my country, in a place like Kerala. And if you see the pattern, I just wanted to add one line and then finish the answer. I'll complete this answer. That Kerala today, when Delhi, Maharashtra, which were the hotspot of pandemic, COVID-19, yes, now everything has, Mumbai has become normal, Delhi has become normal, but the number in Kerala is every day 22 to 25,000. Yes. And while inquiring, I come to know all over the world, when the international flights were not operating, the people from Arabian countries were relentlessly transporting to Kerala. Their international travel not been, just a small state like Kerala has 4 international airports. Yes. So why it is required? Because entire Arabian country has their own homeland kind of feeling when they are in Kerala. Maybe it is their business, it is their family, whatever. So as a filmmaker, I think it is my moral responsibility. So I made a documentary film called In the Name of Love. Right. That got a Best Film Award in London International Film Festival, right, in 2019. And while making this film, I had a huge research. My team did a lot of research. It was very difficult shoot, but we did that. Now I am making a feature film in multiple language, in English, Malayalam, Hindi, on the subject of love jihad. How this girl's been been converted. It has a huge sinister plan, like the drugs coming from Arab, money, huge money being exchanged the hands, and they are converted and taking to that the lands of they as a gateway to Jannat is Syria, Iraq, and all. So this is what right now I am working, and I think this film will have a huge social repercussion.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.